All right, so now we are in that time that we like to call urbanization, industrialization, and like many times in American history, there's a lot of immigration. Why are the cities growing in population? Why is the country growing in population? One of the reasons is because we have tons of immigration. People coming from other countries because they want a piece of that American dream. Today we're gonna look at we're gonna juxtapose two cartoons by some famous artists. So, cartoon number one is Thomas Nast. Cartoon number two is from Puck, the magazine by Kepler. First cartoon that we have to look at right here. So, once again, the topic is immigration. And when talking about immigration, you have to understand that the people who are here have a already vested interest. Their lives are being changed by the presence of these new people. Let's take a look. So we have a wall. The wall says the Chinese Wall around the United States of America. Now that's obviously like a little snub at their wall building years prior to keep out invaders. So are they calling the people from other countries invaders? Who's on top of the wall? People wearing top hats. The clothes that they're wearing kind of leads me to believe that they might be Irish or even German, maybe some combination of both. Former immigrants, first, second, or third generation here. How can I make this assumption? Well, let's take a look at the flag that we see. The flag refers to the Know Nothing Party. The Know Nothing Party was a political party who, big difference from other political parties is they were native. Keep the outsiders out. Keep the outsiders from ruining our lives. Now, look at this gentleman. He's like celebrating, dancing, or with his hands raised in victory. How could he be Irish or an immigrant with his hands raised in victory next to this flag that says Know Nothing if they were anti-outsider? It's kind of funny. It doesn't take very long for you to get someplace before you own it as yours or you claim it as yours and other people don't have the same rights or access to it. If you look on the flag, once again, it says what? President Patrick and Han. Those are stereotypical names for what cultures? Exactly. So we're looking at people who, I think the artist is trying to tell us that the people who came here from Europe in this era, as they assimilated, kind of picked up the anti-outsider feelings that some of the natives have here. Also, they may have been facing some of the discrimination and just wanted somebody below them that they can discriminate against, or they could say these guys are on a lower rung of the social ladder than we are. People who are low on the social ladder a lot of times just want to keep one group of people below them, and unfortunately these Asian Americans, they fit the bill and they served that job well. So we have a Know Nothing flag. We have President Patrick and Han representing, Ireland and Germany. Then moving further down, have this ladder, and this is the big thing here. Throw down the ladder by which they rose. Now listen, after I use that ladder to rise and take the opportunities the United States has to offer, should I leave it there for other people? Nah, I'm going to eliminate my competition. I'm going to eliminate things that can change what I've established. I'm going to eliminate or prevent other cultures from coming in and completely changing what I've tried to establish over these years or generations that I was here. You might even look at this gentleman as maybe kicking the ladder down so the Asian Americans can't take advantage of the same ladder that the Irish or the Germans rose. Now, why would a group of people be so prejudiced towards another? I just used this immigration means. Why wouldn't I let someone else? Think about a few things. Competition for jobs, competition for resources. Once again, when they came over in large groups, they banded together for protection, especially when law enforcement and so forth was a new and developing thing. I don't want to let another collection of people come over, and then I have to contend with them for the space in the big cities, for the jobs in the big cities, etc. The Asian Americans, giving some extra background, once again, people did not like that they would accept jobs for lower wages on the railroads, etc. They thought they were cheating by accepting those lower wages. Ironically, in the big cities, people thought the same thing of Irish people. So unfortunately, some of the Irish people, once they cleared themselves of these images, they kind of put those same stereotypes on the Asian Americans. And lastly, look at these Asian Americans. They have postures that are kind of disappointing. What's in their hands? They have like tools and things that they were going to bring into the new country. The artist was trying to say, hey, look, they were going to be productive. There looks like they have brooms and shovels and different things. They had no means of just taking up space, but improving the land that was their new home. Let's switch to the other one. The next one we have is Puck. Puck was a magazine, looked and felt a whole lot different than some of the other magazines that were out at the time, and there's tons of historical, political cartoons that come from it. This one's a little bit different. Let's take a look. You have Uncle Sam. Look at his posture, very welcoming. But who is he welcoming? Those aren't Asian immigrants, are they? No, they're European immigrants, right? How can we tell? And let's take a look at the type of people. Well, some of these people are barefoot. Maybe that's signifying that they're not very wealthy. Others have fancy shoes and nice top hats. Maybe that's signifying that, well, hey, we'll take your businessman and your affluent as well. Some people have nice bags. Other people just have clothes in like a basket or whatever materials that they're bringing in a basket on their head. American flag on the vessel. And let's take a look at some of the words. What does it say? It says free education. We want these immigrants to know what it means to live here in the United States, what our values are. Speech, free ballot, free lunch, free land, Homestead Act. Hey, there are times that if you can take the risk to move out west and you're going to work on that land, try to develop it for 5 years, it could be yours. We don't have a monarch here. We're voting. We're giving all of our citizens just a little bit of voice in who's going to be our next representatives and our next leaders. On the other side, have what's not there. No tax. No oppressive tax. So we don't have taxes that will oppress you, but hopefully serve you. No expensive king. No forced military service. Even though we have used a draft at times, we don't really have like a standing army draft type thing during peacetime. In peacetime, we can enlist, we can take advantage of serving our country, but you won't be compelled during peacetime for forced military service, and hopefully America never gets into wars of conquest and empire building, etc. Those last two words at the bottom pretty much means no whips and no dungeons. So even though there's punishment here, the torture that some European countries still participated in, and dungeons weren't a thing. Now, granted, their jails, our jails in the United States and insane asylums were not anything to. They weren't the motel, hotel, Holiday Inn. They were definitely kind of rough, but we were bragging here that hey, we're better than where you're coming from. This is where you want to be. Now, let's just take a look. Above Uncle Sam's head, what does it say? U.S. Ark Refuge or refugees? Kind of hard to see. I think Ark, they're going back to the story of, the old story of Noah, like save you. Hey, we're going to save you from your horrible country that just kind of floods you with all this junk and horrible things. A king, being overtaxed, being forced into doing things by fear of torture or harsh punishment, right? We have these amendments, no cruel and unusual punishment, due process of the law. So we have an Ark saving the refugees from their European country. We have Uncle Sam with big wide open arms. We have various types of people from wealthy and poor. We have all the free things we want to offer them. And then we have all the things that we promised that we're not, that your old country was. Wow. Isn't that a starch wow. Isn't that a big contrast from the way the Asian Americans were treated? Let me know what you think. We'll talk to you soon.